Welcome back. Who is the greenest person in the world? That is the question, or the question that is the premise behind an international online competition that was created by Boyd Cohen. And Boyd is joining us in studio. You're a professor at SFU.
Correct.
Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about how you developed and why this online competition.
Well, we've been bombarded by media about environmental issues, and my experience has been that too much media has been focused on if we just all recycled, if we all just turned off our water when we're brushing our teeth, we could save the planet. The reality is, if you look at any of the scientific research, that's not going to do it. That's not going to get us far enough. And then I also thought, you know what, we have rankings for greenest cities in Canada, in the US, in the world. We have rankings for greenest companies. Why don't we have something for the greenest person? Make it fun, but also try to take the discussion to another level in terms of what it means to live a green lifestyle, and create some stars out of people who are everyday people going to extra lengths to be green.
Right, so all of the people out there are hopefully highlighting those that are not just taking the little steps that everyone seems to think is important, but taking these big steps.
Exactly. You got to start somewhere. I'm not criticizing people doing the baby steps, but it's not enough.
Right. So how does this competition work then?
Well, it's been quite fun. We launched it on Earth Day, and we had an online competition. We had 600 entrants from over 25 countries. And then I call it the American Idol for green people, because we allow the world to vote online instead of me deciding who's the greenest. So we put their profiles, their pictures. Some of the contestants put their videos online for us for the world to vote. And then we had a series of rounds, and now we got down to the top 5. And now we're actually down to the top 2, and we're going to announce that live on September 24th.
I think we actually have some clips from the top 2. Matthias, I think, is one, and then Emily, is that right?
That's correct.
So we're going to just have a quick look at Matthias, or a portion of his entry.
Great.
Now, I'm actually a German guy from Germany, but now I live in Malaysia. In Malaysia, it's hot. What do you do when it's hot? Usually people switch on the aircon. But this thing, much more eco-efficient, uses a lot less electricity. Or I try, when possible, if it's not too hot, even to sleep in the night without any air conditioning, without any fan on. Now in Malaysia, it's not so easy to recycle your stuff, because there is no existing recycling system in the domestic houses. This is what friends of mine have set up in the condo where I've just moved into. We are now working together on making this a success in the whole condo, encouraging other people to use this recycling station and then bring it to the places where you can get papers, batteries and other materials recycled in Malaysia.
Every time I mention I've got a composter in my apartment, people are like, "Oh my God, that must stink." And then my immediate reaction is, "No, it doesn't." And Miranda, my roommate, would never allow it if it did. And the people that know Miranda think that's really funny, and then they believe me. You're just gonna have to take my word for it. But you have to try. Like, try it out. Take that jump. Get some worms. Put them in a bucket. Obviously learn how to properly take care of them, otherwise they will die and it will start to stink.
Well, those are good little clips. So I'm curious, though. I know that the contestants had to sort of pass a certain criteria to be part of this. But how do you know from here on in that it really isn't just sort of a popularity contest in terms of how they vote?
I think there is a risk of that, but if you look at, first of all, as you say, the minimum criteria to even get this far, they definitely are living a very green lifestyle. And you know, one thing that's been evidenced by the final 5 in the competition was that while lots of the people that submitted applications in the early round were green and living green lifestyles, the final 5, and these 2 particularly, have taken it to another level, not only in their own lifestyle, but I think almost more importantly what they're doing to try to make an impact on the world and on communities where they live through their working environment. So that's what's really distinguished them.
And so I guess the real basis, though, is just to create awareness. Is that right, from your perspective?
That's right. To create awareness for a need for living a greener lifestyle, and to provide some role models for people of some really green lifestyles, but also to see that you don't have to be a crunchy hippie living out in the woods to live a really green lifestyle. These contestants are in urban environments.
So we'll put up some information if people want to go and check out your website. But where are you taking it from here? Can you just quickly explain us?
We're going We're going to run this every year on Earth Day. So we're excited to prepare for next year, and next year is going to be bigger and better.
So if anyone at home wants to partake, they can just go to your website, is that right?
Exactly right. There'll be a survey online in a few months for them. So between now and then, what they should be doing is trying to get their lifestyle in a greener way, and then they could start preparing video footage or anything to present what they are doing to live a green life, and then hopefully we'll have another Canadian in the top 5 next year.
Oh, that's terrific. Well, thank you so much for coming and sort of sharing this idea, creating more awareness, of course. Jane, I guess, you know, your husband was taking on the Adventure Challenge. Well, you could take on the Greenest Person in the World Challenge.
That's
How about
right.
that?
I could give that a shot. We've already started composting, so
There
we're
you
learning
go.
how to do it. So thanks.
stuff.
That was great. Thanks a lot, Christy. Well, you can also grow the basics of a garden salad in containers. How about that? Heather Johnston of the Edible Garden Project will tell us how just next when the Saturday Morning News returns. Stay with us.